go from there. Hi guys, welcome to a summer reading craft demo. My name is Abby.
My name is Kylie.
And we are going to show you guys how to do a wind chime or a wall hanging. We kind of call it both. It doesn't make a lot of noise, but it can if you do some certain things to it. But we'll start and get into it. So the instructions is you're going to have two things of clay. You'll have a little straw. You'll have some yarn. And we're going to put it all together into an awesome little wind chime. So the first step is you're going to take half of the first block of clay and you're going to roll it into a ball. So you're going to tear it in half, roll it into a nice little ball shape. And then once it's there, you can lay it down on a surface and you can flatten the ball into like a rough-ish disc about the size of a standard coffee mug rim. Basically, you just make it as thin or as thick as you want and as big or as little as you want. Really, it's just how much clay you have. So once you do that, Kylie's going to show you, that's what we got a disc there. That's about a good size right there. That's about the size of a coffee mug. And if you want to, if you can't use your hands, you can use a coffee mug or something flat, like a book or something, to actually squish it down yourself if you want to. If your hands, you can't do it, maybe there's arthritis or something, you can use a flat surface. So after that, we're going to take our straw and we're going to find the middle of the disc. So you can use your fingers, you can use however you want to do it. Find the middle of the disc, and using the straw, we're going to make two holes, side by side with a little space in between. Just like Kylie's doing. She's making two that are right next to each other. And then that was going to become our hanger. So we're going to be able to tie a yarn through it, and that makes our hanger. So you use your straw, you poke it through, you can kind of wiggle it a little bit around to make sure that the hole is big enough to get some yarn through. And that's what we're going to do for that. So that will be our hanger. And then we're going to use the straw again, and we're going to make 6 holes evenly around the edge of the middle of the big piece. And make sure, of course, the holes go all the way through so that we can put yarn through them. And Kylie is doing that right now.
3 more holes to go.
There we go, yeah. Yeah, and if you want to hold it in your hand, sometimes it's nice to use your palm to kind of push the straw through to catch the hole. And then, of course, the pieces will get stuck in the straw. Once they get a little bit too stuck, you can pull them out so that way it's not too sticky for you. One more hole. Nice.
Go.
It's a lot of poking holes, but it'll make sense in the end. So we've got that. We've got our middle thing, our kind of like holder, our placeholder. And then you're going to take, we're going to demo just making a couple of the balls because you're supposed to make 12. You're supposed to take the half a block you have left and then the other block that you have and kind of separate that out as evenly as you can to make 12 balls. And you're going to roll them in a circle. And Kylie's going to demo that here.
I made 12 pieces.
Oh, you have to do 2.
Only 2. Thank you for that reminder.
So they're going to be this size.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can separate your 1 block into 8 and take your half block and separate it out into 2. You can do 3 for the rest of the half block of clay. You just want a little, maybe quarter size, little circle of clay that you can flatten out. And you flatten those into about, a little bit bigger than a quarter, maybe $half sized, so that they're going to be at about this size. So if you can see, about $half, quarter sized, however thin, however thick you want to do it. You're going to make 12 of those. And Kylie is making 2. Nice.
They're both kind of around the same size.
As long as they're close-ish, that's all that matters. So we're just making 12 of these little itty-bitty pieces. And then we're going to take our straw again. And we're going to, on 6 of the discs, we're going to poke 2 holes, one in the top and one in the bottom. Ta-da!
There's 1. And there's 2.
Nice. So we've got 2 holes. And then the other 6 little medallions that you made, we're going to just put a hole in the top of it.
So I believe right here.
Yep. Okay. Just in the top. Yep, just like that. Awesome.
Got it.
And as long as, and always, once again, make sure that the holes go all the way through. We're going to be putting yarn in those. So what we're going to do after you make your big disc and your 12 little discs is set them aside, let them dry overnight. They're going to turn into a weird foam-like consistency, but that's why it's air dry clay. So I am going to give the instructions to Kylie, and I'm going to be the one that through movie magic, we have dry ones right here, which is amazing. So I will take those and then we will go through how to tie together your wind chime.
Once the discs are fully dry, you take the yarn and you cut 7 pieces that measure about 1.5 feet each. So you take one of the pieces of yarn and you thread it through the 2 center holes on the largest disc. Abby's going to demonstrate.
I'm doing my best.
She's doing the best she can.
I've got big fingers, this fat fingers that I struggle. And sometimes if you lick the yarn, which sounds gross, you can get through the holes easier because it's a little bit more.
It's kind of similar to sewing. Yeah. And then once she does that,
there we go.
She'll tie a knot close to the base up against the center 2 holes.
So we're going to tie it all the way down. And then I'm going to tie it again to make the knot.
Yes, so she's taking the loose ends and tying a knot further up, which leaves a large loop of yarn. This is the hanger for your wind chime.
So I need to make a little knot up at the very top. Do you want to put it down to it? And this is our hanger.
Ta-da! And then when she's ready, she'll take the 6 remaining yarn pieces and thread them through the 6 holes around the edge of the large disc. But make sure to leave one side long.
Yes, so what we're going to do is I have, the 6 holes that go around. I don't know if you can see, I'll do it closer. 6 holes. I'm going to poke through. I'm going to, of course, do this 6 times. I can get this yarn all the way through. There we go. Yarn is tricky.
It is.
I'm not crafty. Oh, I just lost it. I'll do it again. We'll pick a bigger hole.
Mistakes are okay.
It's okay. It's all learning.
And this is supposed to be fun.
Yes, it's not supposed to be stressful.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tie a knot here. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like.
So she's tying each piece of yarn in a knot close to the edge of the disc, leaving one long strand of yarn dangling from each of the 6 holes.
Yes, so this, I tied a little piece here, and then we've got all of this to work with. So it's hanging from here.
Yes.
All right. Yay.
And then locate the 2 groups of smaller discs. She's going to demonstrate
on these actually. So you can take markers or Sharpies and stuff and kind of draw on them. This is highlighter, and I have a Sharpie on this one. But I have one with 2 holes and the one with 1.
So decorate them however you want, whatever speaks to you. And then she's going to take one of the small discs with 2 holes and thread one of the pieces of yarn through one of the holes, leaving an inch or 2 of space between the large and small disc.
All right, so I think I'm gonna take it about halfway up. All right.
And then she ties a knot close to the disc, leaving a long tail of yarn. Once she does that, she'll let me know.
Almost. Tying knots is hard. All right, so we it's attached, and I just tied a knot right here.
Yep. And then she threads the tail of yarn through the remaining hole in the disc.
So the tail of the yarn goes through the bottom of the hole.
Yep.
If I can get it through. There we go.
I believe in you.
And so it's going to look like this. I threaded it through the bottom.
And then she'll take one of the smaller discs with only 1 hole and thread the tail of yarn through, leaving an inch or 2 of space between the 2 small discs. And then she'll tie a knot close to the disc. Same song and dance.
Same thing. It's a lot of the same tying, which is nice because I couldn't do any other fancier knot. This is the only knot I can do.
Yeah, we're not Girl Scouts.
No. So this is what, if I can get a hold of it, it looks like. So this one is threaded all the way through.
Mhm.
And then I have one at the very bottom.
Yep, and she makes sure the knot is secure, and then she cuts off any excess yarn.
Yes.
And then you just repeat those steps with the remaining 5 pieces of yarn.
Over and over and over.
Over.
And then actually, who actually made this is, her name is Camden.
Mhm.
She works downstairs with us as well. And she actually made this one. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. You're going to have, the 6 pieces all attached up here,
Mhm.
your hanger, and then you have the little pieces, the one with the 2 holes, and then the one with the 1 holes. And that's why I call it a wall hanging, because it doesn't make a lot of noise. But if you want it to make noise, you could take coins and you could push coins into the wet clay before it dries.
Mhm.
And that would kind of clink together. You can have little pieces like mirrors or
Yeah,
plastic.
or you can take like those little bells if you want to that have like little threads.
Yeah, like little like what cat bells.
Yeah,
or,
like
yeah, like
those.
little jingly things. You could definitely do that too. I hope that this was helpful to you guys. That we actually showed what it looks like, how to put these together. They will be sent out in packets in July, I believe. I think it's the 3rd packet y'all are going to get. And then of course it has the written directions, but we will also link on the directions. We will link this to it as well. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube. That way, if you guys want to get to know us a little bit and kind of see what we're doing for you guys for summer reading. But I think that's all that we've got today for you.
I think so. Hope you enjoyed.
Happy art making.